brother, is it okay to eat store-bought meat in southern USA, which is more Christian and fast food like Zaxby? I don't know what Zaxby is, or Chick-fil-A, and why, if it's allowed or not. No, it's not allowed to eat that kind of meat because you don't know who has slaughtered it. You don't know, like, this idea that they're Christian. Like, these major multinational meat processing companies are not Christian. They're not owned by Christians. They're like, some of them are public companies. Like, they're publicly traded companies. So there's no Christian ownership, let alone a Christian who is actually slaughtering your meat or doing anything like properly cutting it, properly doing the dhabiha. So it's not halal. That is the position that I have, and that is the correct position. There are some people who have an incorrect understanding of dhabiha, and they say, no, the U.S. is a Christian country, and the Constitution of the U.S. says you have to be Christian to be president. This is false. The Constitution does not require the president to be Christian. You can be an atheist president of the United States. And what does that have to do with the companies? Like, these are companies that are not actually Christian at all. They're not Christian. They're not Jewish. Do not buy this kind of meat. Don't go. And same with Chick-fil-A. Like, their meat source is not necessarily like a Christian farm. And it really annoys me, like, this kind of fatwa, because the fatwa, it's that, oh, you can just eat anyone's meat, just go to the store. When you have that kind of fatwa, then the Muslims become complacent and they start eating whatever meat that's available. Like, put the fiqh question aside. Like, there are resources online if you want to read or watch in depth a scholar actually present, like, this is why you can't just eat the meat in America or in Europe, for example, in a non-Muslim country. You can't just eat whatever meat that you find in the store or in the restaurant or whatever. Go and watch a proper scholar explain it. But put that issue aside. Like, another issue that is significant is that when you get the Muslim community used to, like, oh, just eat whatever, then the Muslims don't develop their own institutions. We don't develop our own meat sources, our own farms, our own, food processing plants, our own butchering operations, our own businesses that are halal and meet the strict standards of Sharia. We don't do the effort because someone said, oh, it's halal, so just go and do it. This is a big problem. When I went on that rant in a previous episode on public schools, it's the same thing. Like, these scholars said, oh, public school is halal. Like, some of the scholars said, the public schools in the West are halal. No problem, send your kids. Even though those schools are very damaging and they lead to a lot of kufr. So much of our youth are led to kufr because of these public schools. If some of those scholars had said it's actually haram to send your kids to public school, then the Muslims will put a lot more resources, a lot more effort into creating quality Islamic institutions. They would actually petition the government to get more funding in order to build really quality Islamic schools that teach a true Islamic curriculum. But because of this kind of suhulat pasandi, which is like seeking ease, seeking the easy road, oh, it's halal, everything is halal, then those institutions weren't created. Now you have all these Muslim parents who are complaining there's no good educational option for my kids. My kids are really suffering in public school, or their Iman is being threatened. Where are the Islamic schools? This is what they're doing. Where are the Islamic schools? Well, part of the solution is the fatwa that, oh, actually public schools are haram, right? So this is kind of the sociological role of fatwa. The sociological role that a ruling has, or a fatwa has, in shaping a Muslim community or a Muslim nation or the entire ummah. Having the foresight. The same thing is, it's very important when it comes to meat. Like, and it's not that difficult. Like, so many countries, like, look at South Africa. Their halal meat industry is so successful that pretty much the whole country or large parts of South Africa are selling halal meat, even non-Muslims. Look at the halal meat industry of New Zealand. Like, all of New Zealand is halal meat standards because of the Muslims. The Muslims went and they had their own ranches. They had their own meat processing. They did the 100% halal standards. They set the gold standard for halal. It was, may Allah bless the scholars who oversaw that process. May Allah bless the haram police who made sure to set the boundaries and they gave the fatwa. And that's what led to the benefit that so many millions are benefiting from halal meat. And unfortunately, we have this kind of half-baked opinion. It is what it is. It's a half-baked opinion that, oh no, you can just eat the meat of any non-Muslim because of a vague idea that this is a Christian country. It's not. You know it's not. You know this is not a Christian country. You know that the lawmakers in this country are not Christian. You know that these industries are not, they have nothing to do with religion. Even if you take the position that, okay, as long as the identity of the person is Christian, that means that the meat is Christian, like, or the meat is permissible. Why? This is a half-baked, I'm sorry, but time to say it like it is.